to the Listen Up Girl podcast. I'm your host, Zach Randalls Friedman, and today's stories are all orbit one question. What happens when visibility moves faster than protection? Because queer people are everywhere on screens and sports and culture, and yet rights are being challenged, rolled back, and ignored in real time. From love stories that cross borders to lawmakers drawing new lines to violence erupting in everyday moments, this is where we are right now. So let's get into our first story. Polyamory and the law, seen but not protected. Millions of Americans in consensual, non monogamous relationships remain legally invisible. Polyamorous people are not federally protected from employment discrimination, housing denial, or exclusion from medical and family decision making. That means partners can be barred from hospital rooms, denied parental recognition, or fired simply for being honest. New reporting from uncloseted media features people in poly relationships alongside legal experts who say stigma, not evidence, drive these policies. While some cities have begun dismantling outdated cohabitation laws, there is still no broad legal recognition for poly families. Visibility without protection remains a risk. And next, heated rivalry, queer joy breaks through. The movement on one of the biggest queer pop culture platform stories of the year. Actor Connor Story, who plays Rosenoff on Heated Rivalry, confirmed that the season 2 is expected to begin filming this summer. With scripts still in progress, the series, adapted from Rachel Reed's novel, premiered in November and quickly became a phenomenon, expanding from Canada's Crave to HBO Max in the United States. At its heart, Heated Rivalry explores secrecy, fear, and what it costs to love openly in a hyper-masculine world. It's not just a romance, it's recognition. And if you missed my interview with Jesse Cordham, check out my other podcast, Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay, because he is the first hockey player that officially came out. And I got an exclusive interview with him on my other podcast, so check it out because he is amazing. Our next story is Pluribus taking time to get it right. Another fan favorite series is also moving forward carefully. Rhea Seehorn confirmed that the writers' room for Pluribus Season 2 is officially back in session. The Vince Gilligan created drama follows a post-apocalyptic world where only 13 people remain untouched by a global event, including Seehorn's character, a lesbian romance author. Following her Golden Globes win earlier this month, Seehorn emphasized that the team is prioritizing care over speed. In an industry that is often rushes, Pluribus is choosing intention. It's an awesome show. If you have not seen it, please watch season 1 because I highly recommend it. Next, trans youth in sports, more than a game. As the U.S. Supreme Court prepares to hear cases challenging bans on trans girls in school sports, the ACLU has launched a new campaign, More Than a Game. The campaign reframes the conversation, focusing on trans youth as teammates and students, not political symbols. Featured voices include Elliot Page, Naomi Watts, Sue Bird, and Brianna Turner. At the same time, the Department of Education has opened up investigations into more than a dozen school districts accused of violating Title IX under an interpretation targeting trans inclusion. Advocates warn that consequences extend far beyond athletes, shaping belonging, mental health, and safety. We're already well into 2026, and for once, my New Year's resolutions are actually sticking. There's something about a new year, that clean slate feeling, where the ideas stop living in your head and start asking to become real. Maybe you know that feeling. The idea your friends keep telling you, you should sell this. The moment where you think, what if I actually worked for myself? What if this is the year I stopped talking about it and I started building it? That's why Shopify keeps coming up for me, because no matter how big or small your idea is, right now, Shopify gives you everything you need to turn it into a real business, online or in person, all in one place. Brands like Untuckit run on Shopify. Skims runs on Shopify. But there's one thing, it's not just for the massive brands, it's for you. With beautiful customizable templates and built-in AI that helps write product descriptions and polish photos, Shopify takes care of all the hard parts, even the parts people usually get stuck on. Marketing is built in too. Shopify helps you create email campaigns, social posts, and promotions that reach customers wherever they scroll without needing a separate system or marketing degree. And as your idea grows, Shopify grows with you. handling more orders, expanding into new markets, and managing it all from one simple dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month per trial and start selling today at shopify.com/listen up. Go to shopify.com/listen up. That's shopify.com/listen up. Hear your first this year with Shopify by your side. Our next story is most conversion therapy in the U.S. is still happening through religious channels. Despite growing awareness of its harms, conversion therapy is still affecting tens of thousands of LGBTQ plus people in the United States, and most of it isn't happening in licensed therapist office. According to new estimates from the Williams Institute, the majority of conversion therapy in the U.S. is administered by religious leaders, spiritual advisors, not mental health professionals. The Institute estimates that around 16,000 LGBTQ plus youth between the ages of 13 and 17 will undergo conversion therapy, a licensed therapist, but that number more than triples when religious settings are included. As many as 57,000 LGBTQ youth are expected to receive conversion therapy from a pastor, priest, rabbi, and or other spiritual advisor. Advocates say this distinction matters because while professional medical associations overwhelmingly condemn conversion therapy as harmful and unethical, religious counseling often falls outside the state licensing laws and bans. That loophole allows the practice to continue even in states where conversion therapy is prohibited for licensed provider. Survivors and experts warn that conversion therapy, regardless of who administrates it, is linked to higher rates of depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and suicide among LGBTQ plus youth. Our next story is Michigan judge resigns after racist and anti-LGBTQ plus recordings. A Michigan judge has resigned after recordings surfaced revealing racist and anti-LGBTQ plus remarks. Kathleen Ryan, an Oakland County judge, stepped down following an investigation into recordings in which she referred to herself as a new racist and made offensive statements about Black people and the LGBTQ plus community. Some remarks reportedly targeted Oakland County Executive Director Dave Coulter, who is openly gay. Ryan had been on paid administration leave for 15 months prior to her resignation. The recordings were provided by Court Administrator Edwin Hutton, who said he endured years of harassment and feared Ryan could not issue fair warnings. County officials responded forcefully, saying the language demeans the robe and undermines trust in the justice system. Our next story is Tennessee moves to roll back LGBTQ plus rights. In Tennessee, lawmakers are pushing legislation that could significantly weaken LGBTQ plus protections. Republican Representative Gina Balso has introduced 3 bills that would allow refusal of same-sex marriage recognition, ban pride flags from public buildings, and remove workplace non-discrimination protections. Legal experts say the bill challenges long-settled Supreme Court precedents and could invite constitutional changes. Advocates warn that proposals frame equality as conditional, something that can't be withdrawn. Our next story is Queer Stories Travel Even Under Pressure. In Russia, multiple streaming platforms are facing charges under the country's anti-LGBTQ plus propaganda law. These filings don't name specific titles, but similar cases have targeted queer content in the past. Despite this, Russia audiences continue seeking out queer stories, including heated rivalry. Also in Ireland, writers are examining how dating apps are reshaping queer spaces, trading community gatherings for private digital connections. We've gained in confidence, but may be costing something deeper. People are just stuck online in these apps and are avoiding in-person social. And our last story is anti-LGBTQ plus attack on New York City subway when visibility turns dangerous. We close with a reminder of what visibility can still cost. Police in New York City are searching for a suspect after a queer man was slashed across the face on a subway train in what investigators believe was a hate crime attack. The incident occurred on January 10th after the 28-year-old victim kissed his boyfriend on the train. According to police, the suspect shouted an anti-gay slur, leading to a verbal confrontation that escalated quickly. During the altercation, the attacker slashed the victim across the face before fleeing. The victim survived and received medical care, but say the emotional aftermath is often just as lasting. Public displays of affection, routine for many, still carry risk for queer couples. Despite progress, violence remains present in everyday spaces on trains, sidewalks, and streets. The NYPD is asking anyone with information to come forward. For many LGBTQ people, the message is painfully clear. Being seen can still be dangerous. These stories may feel different, law, culture, television, and violence, but they are all deeply connected. They show us visibility alone doesn't guarantee safety, that rights can be challenged, and that progress may be protected. That's why we stay informed, and that's why we refuse silence. I'm Zach Randall-Friedman, and this has been Listen Up, Girl. I'll be back later this week with more LGBTQ plus news. Thanks so much for listening.